Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you all for coming in, and thank you all to the new subscribers who have just joined my YouTube family. I just wanted to extend a warm welcome to you guys, and I love all of your comments, and they've really been supporting the community. A lot of you guys have been sharing your stories, and I promise you, I've been reading every one of them and I will reply to every one of them. I just want to say a very big welcome, and you guys are going to love today's video, because today's video we are going to talk about Monadic Twin Flame Metamorphosis. So that's, as the title speaks, you're not losing it, because the truth behind your twin flame meltdown is not madness, it's actually metamorphosis. So, for example, you see a picture of your divine masculine on social media, having a fun time, in a party with a group of friends, dressed very suavely, and especially when he was hanging out with you, he was never dressing up, example, and then he's suddenly suiting up and truly trying to show the world that he's in an amazing place. Often, let's explore the different kinds of reactions and responses that will actually come with it. So, whether you're reacting because you feel, hey, why was he like that to me? Reaction, versus you responding, wow, he's actually doing amazing. Versus indifference, let him do whatever he wants, I don't really care. Versus sacred neutrality, whatever may happen. But often, pre-union stage, many divine feminines get very, very, very worked up. They get very, very triggered. And after all, it will just be a freaking picture with his friends. But especially, so in category 1 situations, it's often when the DM is with someone else, or is choosing another partner, or getting married, or getting into new relationships. In category 2 is because, being the silent initiate, they suddenly post something. So they are the sort that never post anything, which is quite the contrary to category 1 twin flames. And all of a sudden, after not posting anything on his social media for, let's say, 3 years, suddenly a picture comes up. And even though you may be blocked, even though that DM might have said, hey, stop it, stop it, or whatever, through a friend or through someone mutual, you get access to this. It's okay to be mad. All right. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be angry. Because if you do not process these feelings, if you do not process this madness, you're going to end up looping yourself further in this journey. That's why today's topic is about what is really, really happening when you're fluctuating, collapsing, and ascending all at once. So that's the reason why, again, if you guys are watching this video, chances are, like I said, category 1 or category 2, you're not only going through a monadic twin flame separation, you're actually going through something far deeper, something that feels like being spiritually pulled apart and reconstructed in silence. So remember, this is not longing. This is not obsession. This is monadic twin flame metamorphosis. And it often begins the moment your soul says yes, but the person you love says, no, I'm not interested. That's why in this video, I want to explain exactly what's happening to our body, our auric field, our soul field, and why it feels like you're breaking apart, even though you're actually becoming who you were always meant to be. So I want to begin with the collapse and expansion. Again, we are in a polarity planet. We're in a, sadness, happiness. So, of course, we're going to talk about the collapse and expansion. So, the first sign of monadic twin flame metamorphosis is this: you start collapsing and expanding at the same time. And this is something that is not talked about at all. So, this is what goes on. You might feel total detachment in one moment and soul level ache in the next. One moment you are going to get triggered, and then the next moment you'll be like, you know what? I don't give a shit anymore. Let him keep looping and looping and looping because that's what he chooses. And that's what we got to honor, that sovereignty. Just because you're twin flames doesn't mean he has to be with you, right? So again, that's why I say one moment it's detachment, one moment you are like totally okay with what's going on, and the next moment it's like, how dare he insult me, how dare he say things like I'll never ever ever speak to you again, or uses strong words like, like, why are you always in my head, or why are you doing this to me, or he blocks you because he knows it would hurt you, and he knows it's like. But you have to understand this happens because that's the only way for you to honor yourself, because as divine feminines we become totally different people around our divine masculine. For example, you're not the sort who will keep cooking for the guy you're dating, or you're not the sort who would go above and beyond to make sure he's fed, or you won't go above and beyond to buy all of his favorite things so that when he comes over to your place he has got his favorite beverage. Or you'll be like, and usually only in separation you would start realizing you were losing yourself completely to a person who was afraid, not afraid, who was probably disgusted at how you had no sense of self-worth, you had no sense of self-respect. You were so into taking care of him, your divine masculine, that you forgot to take care of yourself. You couldn't draw boundaries because you were wavering on this illusion of twin flame love being romantic, twin flame love being, I cannot be apart. Well, that happens to 3D love. There is so much attraction and then they are fighting the moment they get married. But in twin flame love, it's quite the contrary. You do all the fighting so that when you actually get together, there's stability in the force field. So that's what I meant. You might feel euphoria without a trigger, then breathlessness without a reason. You're suddenly getting triggered. You're suddenly wondering what is going on. And then you suddenly might get a download, a vision, a psychic hit, and then total emotional collapse in just the same hour. Suddenly you'd be like, my DM is useless. And then another moment, my DM is, everything is doing is for my own awakening. Everything that's happening, our higher selves are castrating. First, you have to acknowledge it's not that something's wrong. And it's that your soul is rearranging itself to hold union frequency before your divine masculine is ready. And that means you're holding the field for both of you. So your question may be, why is it not emotional instability? So let me say this very clearly. Let me say this very, very clearly. You're not emotionally unstable. You are in a state of, hear this very carefully, sacred fluctuation, because your spiritual body is moving at a higher speed than your nervous system can comprehend. That's why monadic twin flame union is not a relationship, it's a return to origin frequency. That's why one moment you feel completely at peace, and the next you'll be on the floor aching for a version of him that doesn't even exist anymore, or a version of him who treats you as nothing, or a version of him who blatantly tells you, hey, I just don't like you, go away, or runs away from you like a child. Maybe, I mean, wrong example to use, correct me, let me correct myself, I don't want to use child. Like a scared man running away. Like if a man is running away from a woman, it's pretty distorted, isn't it? It's usually females running away from males, because what can the female do, right? But it shows that's all he knows at the moment, and that's the only way to cut you off, and to give you a clear message that he doesn't want you in your life, and you got to honor that. But of course, what he did, well, you don't want that version of him. But that version of him can be stuck in that version forever, going on chasing and chasing and chasing other stuff, material pleasure. So sometimes, the irony, the divine masculine might say he's not a materialistic person at all, and he's a minimalist, and he only owns 3 t-shirts, but then he's chasing all the material pleasures. And then the divine feminine will be the sort that truly enjoys the 3D world. So she may have a lot of clothes, a lot of bags, but can you see the misunderstanding there? But the divine feminine has surrendered, so abundance comes to her, whereas the divine masculine is limiting himself by not even allowing his divine feminine in. So he goes everywhere. Someone to invest in his app, to partner with someone in a business, or for category 1, looking for another partner, category 2, trying to be the silent initiate and trying to pull strings, but both are failing. So these are the madness that I'm talking about. So that's why at one moment you feel complete and at peace, and the next moment you're literally on the floor because you're triggered by that version of your DM who is just not available to meet you where you are. And like I said, the nervous system is learning how to stabilize in love, even when love isn't visible. So see it this way. The nervous system and the soul body clash. Your nervous system thinks this person abandoned you. Your soul body knows this person is you. So what is actually going on? It's like, that feeling you get when he posts a picture, even though the picture is nothing, it's just a group of friends. One part of you is the yearning, why you're not there. But that's usually on the early stages of a twin flame connection. Another part of you is like, poor guy, looking and searching and he's still stuck. And the third is, he's not having a good time. And just because what he's trying to portray to the world might not be true. And then the fourth, you are like indifferent. So what? And the fifth, you're mad. Why the hell is he posting a picture? And then the sixth category, you're like, why is he trying to show it on my face that he's having his favorite drink in the city, for example, where you live? Or why is he trying to announce to the world, hey, you are in the closest proximity with your divine feminine, yet I will block her, I won't see her. So you're trying to kind of like break down these things, and you're trying to figure out what is causing you these meltdowns. Because one moment you're like zen, I'm not angry, I'm not worried, but another moment you're like, why is he behaving like that? Like I said, the nervous system and the soul body is clashing at this stage. So your nervous system thinks this person abandoned you. Your soul body knows this person is your better half. So there's a war inside your system. Your body is looking for safety, your spirit is holding on to truth. Your mind is trying to make sense of it all, but it fails because it's 4D. So this clash creates breathlessness, sudden breakdowns, field fragmentation, astral withdrawal, and emotional vertigo. So remember, you're not having a breakdown. You're undergoing a spiritual molting. And one more thing, you will feel like your throat is very, very dry as well. Because it's like your higher self is trying to tell you, hey, it's okay. See, now I'm getting thirsty talking about. And then you will go through a stage where you're like, I don't know who I am anymore. That's when you may say things like, I don't like myself anymore. I'm not the same person since meeting him. He has destroyed my life. Like, why? I don't know what I even want now. So this is not you losing your mind. This is you shedding a false identity that no longer serves divine union. So this version of you who needed to be chosen, you're dying. And the one who is built in a world of conditional love, you cannot move forward. So you're not crazy. You're becoming unrecognizable to your past self. And that's what evolution looks like. So this is when the fantasy dies. The fantasy that if I was perfect, he will return. If I was successful, he will return. If I showed him that I am not materialistic and I'm a minimalist, he will return. If I earn a lot of money because he loves money, he will return. I lose 50 kilos and he will return. No, none of it. It's true. That's your ego. Because even if you lose the 50 kilos, even if you become the most famous person in the world, the hottest person in the world, a woman who is being sought by every other guy, he's not going to come back because that's the fantasy. Following me here? The fantasy that if you wait, you will awaken. If you hold light, he will recognize you. But none of it is true. And this death feels like betrayal, but it's not. It's actually liberation. Because you didn't come here to manipulate timelines. You came here to become a divine frequency in form. And that means releasing any version of love that demands performance, pain, or waiting. So this leads us to the next stage, which is the pullback phase. Why did he stop talking when things got deep? Remember, when you started getting closer, he stopped talking because his higher self pulled back to avoid energetic burnout. The field began vibrating at a level his unhealed ego couldn't handle. And your system is being protected from false contact. So you're not being punished. You're being rerouted toward integrity. So you're not supposed to chase. You're supposed to stabilize. And this is exactly when the third energy reactivates. You think you're actually missing it, but what you're really feeling is that the third energy is coming back online. That feeling of ache without a trigger, love without a cause, union without evidence. That's the shared energy field, not emotional dependency, but soul resonance. Soul resonance. So remember, your job is not to panic. It's to tune. It's to tune to it without needing him physically present. So the divine feminine. Oops. Perfect. Now, I was in the midst of uploading my TikTok video, so I was just checking that. I hope you guys are following me here and this discourse doesn't get too boring. But as I was saying, this is exactly when, as divine feminines, eventually, as the divine feminine, we stop looking for him. We become the home he's looking for. The whole, tend to your garden and the butterfly comes. Instead of chasing the butterfly analogy, will be very suitable. Yeah. But remember, not through waiting, not through trying to be perfect, but through feel stillness. You are here where you no longer ask for love. You are love, stable, sovereign, and most importantly, magnetic. And this is what is magnetizing return. Not need, not rituals, not strategies, but your divine presence. So remember, you are not broken. You are here. You are here to remember who you are. And if this teaching helped you understand what you're going through, please give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. And it helps more than you know, because your comments really inspire the community. And if you're ready to receive direct guidance on your twin flame journey, you can book a session with the link in the description box. So I do all my sessions one-on-one via live video call, so no recorded sessions. So you will meet me and just me. So I'll clarify that. And also, yes, I'm a psychic, I'm a clairvoyant as well. So I can, you know, I can delve right into your Akashic records. I can look at your multidimensional records as well, like what's going on with your divine counterpart. I can confirm whether you're a monadic twin flame or a split soul twin flame, or even if you're on a twin flame journey as well. And I can also guide you through my psychic abilities, through my clairvoyance. And so I'm looking forward to working on mystical sessions with you. So that's why my one-on-one sessions can help you to navigate through the deepest layers of your spiritual metamorphosis and soul union. So remember, you're not alone, you're becoming. So with that, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all again with another video. All right, take care and bye-bye.